didn't I didn't read about the update, and all of a sudden I put coffee and it gave me the option to change like a bunch of things in the shift, and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. It was like, oh my gosh, I love this. So I'm a volunteer coordinator. I got brought on in January. This is actually my first event that I'm doing, or that I did. It was a lot. It was a very big event, a lot going on, and but we made it. We got a lot of good feedback that it went really well, and everyone seemed to enjoy themselves. So athletes had fun. We had a lot of successes. I mean, there was a lot of challenges, but for the most part, it was really good. But yeah, I was brought on in January, and so I didn't really know a whole lot about the games initially, and I didn't really know a whole lot about Rosterfy. I actually had to learn it and set it up within like a month. We wanted to open registration in February, so it's a very long volunteer journey in a way, but it's because we needed like 3,000 volunteers. So it was first held in 1985 in San Jose, USA. And it's open to active retired police, law enforcement, corrections, firefighters. Last time it was in Canada, or at least it was last hosted by a Canadian host, was Vancouver 2009. And so athletes attend as individuals, so it's not a delegation. So some people turn it into a trip, or so they spend more than just a week out in whatever city. Yeah. And the main focus is to showcase athleticism and provide an opportunity for the members of the law enforcement and fire services to kind of come together and just kind of compete with their brotherhood or sisterhood of their chosen profession. So I like to say it as Olympics for law enforcement. Yeah, like it would be different if it was maybe just 100 volunteers. Then it's like, okay, yeah, maybe we can do this just by emails and a spreadsheet. But Rosterfy is good in a number of ways. So for instance, before we set up registration, we had a kind of a little fill-in form on our website if you're interested in volunteering. So not registering, but we want to know, are you interested in volunteering? Because when we open our registration page, we'll send you the link so you can sign up. And so we had tons of people put their interest in. And so to send an email to all those people not in Rosterfy through just like Google or Gmail or whatever, that was a pain, because you can only send a mass email to only so many email addresses. I think it was less than 1,000, but we had, I think, over 1,000. I believe it was like about 1,800 people say that they're interested and had to send it out like that. And it was just a pain. But with Rosterfy, you can just, I want to send it to, all the users. There's 2,000 of them. No problem. You can just send communication. You already got the email template, and sends off, takes 2 seconds. The communication part of Rosterfy was super helpful in sending out emails because it was super quick, and it was just you could send out to mass groups. You can choose who, exclude certain people, all this kind of stuff. So we had groups say if someone was in a certain checkpoint, or if, say, they didn't do their background check, we put pending background check, because background checks was one of our checkpoints. But if people had a pending background check, then we'd have to send them, hey, got to do your background check, or parental consent, just like little reminders. And then, so if, say, we also had like officials for the sports. So if we wanted to send an email just to the officials, as long as they're in that group, we can just click the group, send to all these users, and off it goes. Sports coordinators, we had leadership volunteers who helped us, things like that. So the groups were super helpful in that way. Also, when we had invitation links. I could add, so when someone signs up using that invitation link, you can have them be added to a group. So it does automatically, so you know who used that link, and you can see, okay, you use the sports coordinator link, you're in the sports coordinator group, now you're identified, and it works perfectly. Another thing about Rosterfy, sorry, I just keep going on. The import feature was once I got the hang of that,
Okay.
oh my gosh, uploading shifts was so easy. Oh yeah, so in total 4,650 shifts. So this is pre-games and post-games. So I even did shifts for when people scheduled interviews, people scheduling to pick up their uniform and accreditation, training, the games time shifts, all that kind of stuff. So being able to import all of that, so much easier. I don't know if there's any other system where you can do it like that or how they do it, but importing super helpful. The copying of a shift, so if you just want to change a date but keep everything else, that was super helpful too. That was, I think, an update kind of halfway through me using it, and I didn't read about the update, and all of a sudden I put copy and it gave me the option to change like a bunch of things in the shift, and I'm like, oh, this is amazing.